Hey guys, in the comments below, I just want you to leave a reason why you still play Call of Duty, or what you believe to be so amazing about it. Because when I think about Call of Duty and all of the issues that it has now, I have to wonder, why are Call of Duty clones not succeeding out there in the gaming industry? So let's talk about that. We have this powerhouse of an FPS. Call of Duty is something that probably most of us have grown up with. Whether you started way back in Call of Duty 1, or you're like me, you started with Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, or maybe you joined later on, Call of Duty has been something that has had a lot of polish, a lot of fun gameplay mechanics, and overall has been this adrenaline-fueled addicting game. And then it started falling apart. I have heard frustrations more often than not with Call of Duty. One of the big things that happened, I feel like, when it really started to drop in fun, was skill-based matchmaking. I know of the good things about that, but it seems in Call of Duty particularly, it's been manipulated and abusive in ways. I'm sure some of you have heard about their kind of monetization and their business model lately. I'm sure some of you have logged on, have seen all of the shops and how crazy they are now, how they try to sell you their stuff almost everywhere, whether it's in your loadout on the shop page or just through matching you with players who have the skins for the guns that you play the most, because the algorithm knows and is trying to get you to buy those skins. Whatever way it is, they want to make sure that you can feel that you need to buy something. And on top of that, that's their most important thing. That's what they want above all else, is you to buy anything. Especially thinking about the recent RCE exploits with Call of Duty World War II just dropping on PC Game Pass. These hackers just completely taking over computers. What is going on, guys? We have been ignored. Call of Duty is not what it could have been anymore. That we need transparency in matchmaking. We need real anti-cheats that are taking care of all these hackers. We need these developers to listen, right? And there should be a lot of concern, whether it's through rumors of skins in some way being pay to win, or that there's pay to win possibilities in Call of Duty, or that if you're doing too well they nerf your damage, or it's legitimate things like how hard they push their shop on you. Something needs to be figured out. Call of Duty needs to be made fun again. And my question for all of you is really about two Call of Duty clones in particular. And those two clones are XDefiant and Ironsight. The one you see on the screen is Combat Master. A little bit of a different story, but we'll get to it in a sec. So XDefiant was an incredible Call of Duty clone. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea why that game failed. It was just a great, fun feeling, old style Call of Duty, and I loved it. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it was a fun game that had way less of the problems than Activision has had with Call of Duty lately. So why then would it get shut down? Right? Why aren't the players supporting it enough? I hear so many players complain about Call of Duty over and over and over and over again, right? And yet they still play it. Now, apparently for the players, there can't be a better Call of Duty than Call of Duty, is what I learned from that, because XDefiant was almost everything that everyone wanted. Everyone complaining. We gave them Call of Duty. It was good, and people just said no and went back to Call of Duty. right? What? I don't understand. The same thing with Ironsight. Now, Ironsight I can see because it wasn't as advertised. It wasn't this big thing in your face. But I thought that that game was a really solid Call of Duty clone. I can't tell you to play it now because guess what's happening to that Call of Duty clone? The servers are getting shut off in August. Right? That has to be lack of advertising, right? It is literally the same game as Call of Duty. There is nothing wrong with the way it plays in my mind. It's fun. It gives you that same adrenaline rush that Call of Duty gives, and it's a good time. Right? One of the big things about it is you can just log on and have fun. And I love that. And yet it's getting shut down. There aren't enough players playing it. How then can a titan like Call of Duty hold its player base, despite the fact that, don't get me wrong, it is falling, but how can they hold so many players while everyone thinks the game sucks and everyone's hearing about these problems and they're getting these RCE exploits, which is a huge deal, right? People are getting their computers taken over. That's just flat out extremely dangerous. Do not install Call of Duty World War II on your computer from Game Pass. You might lose your computer, right? It's terrible. But this company has just been messing up all over the place, and yet something like Ironsight, where it's fun and it's free, just doesn't survive. That, to me, that doesn't make sense. Now, with this game, another Call of Duty clone, Combat Master, I can understand why this one won't go. This one is just like bots, honestly. It's and I don't think any of the people you see in here are real players. If they are, I'm sorry. But it's a lot of bots in Combat Master, which doesn't necessarily kill from the fun, but if you're someone who wants to play against real players all the time to scratch that Call of Duty itch, then this one isn't really it, to be honest. But nonetheless, we need to do something. Are we really saying that Call of Duty has to make a good Call of Duty for us to all be happy? That it can't be a Call of Duty clone? And if that really is the case, why? What is your reason? What is the point? Why does it have to be Activision that makes a good Call of Duty? Why can't there be a good enough clone out there that can take over? What would it need to take for a clone to take over? What would you want the clone to do? What does it have to do better than XDefiant did? Or what does it have to do better than Ironsight did, for example, even? I really would love to know the answers to those questions. So make sure you let me know in the comments below, and I would love to read those and see them and really figure out what's so great about Call of Duty that no one can be pulled off into these Call of Duty clones. Alright, so hopefully I'll see you next time, and we'll talk more about gaming, and see you later. Have fun.